Let's go at Liverpool, because it was an historic day at Anfield. That biggest crowd ever at Anfield.
75 years, was it, Rob?
Yeah,
or was it ever?
in 132-year history, it was the biggest crowd
Was
at
it?
Anfield,
Wow.
I read,
Wow.
which is incredible, with the new City
Anfield Road stand
Anfield
getting
Road
opened up.
stand, and it opened. So it was an Arsenal game. It was a Liverpool game that was in the balance for some time, my friend. And Burnley, I thought, gave a decent account of themselves. And it was interesting because Rebecca asked us, how do we see the game? And Liverpool, after the defeat against Arsenal, a few eyes on.
Yeah.
There was no Alisson. He was Earle and Gomez.
Yeah.
Obviously, Konate's a red card, so Kwanzaa came in at the back. So it was a very different back line.
Robertson played. Yeah.
Kelleher in goal. Robertson played.
Yeah.
Trent Alexander started at right back, came off at half time. So it wasn't the perfect day for Jurgen Klopp and his team. And I thought, actually, Jurgen Klopp, I was reading last night while listening, and he said a really interesting thing where he said he enjoyed that it was a fight and a difficult game and that we came through it, because sometimes you need those games to get you back on it. And I kind of understood what he meant. Like, sometimes you can win 2 or 3 and it's pretty easy and you don't really have to game. I thought Liverpool had to be at it against this Burnley team.
I thought they had many awkward moments. Awkward moments against Burnley's side that, again, before the game, I'm thinking this should be... I guess the 3-1 scoreline.
Yeah, in the end.
Looks like that. But I thought the way that Burnley would come out and play, like just what I said, there's going to be spaces for Liverpool to go and do damage. Burnley opened up and went toe-to-toe and matched them for long, long periods of the game. One of my notes here is like, this game's kind of even. Yeah. Kind of even. And then what have you got for Liverpool? You've got attacking players that are game changers, and Mo Salah's getting closer. I think he's going to be in training this upcoming week. But you've still got Jota, Nunez, and Luis Diaz. They all scored goals. 3 goals are from those front players. Yeah. There was changes that the manager made off the bench. Yeah. Harvey Elliott come on and had an impact.
Yeah, Trent's had a knock, I believe, which they're a little concerned about. Could be a recurrence of a knee, which not great news.
Yeah. Curtis Jones popped into right back. Yeah. Conor Bradley. My understanding is that he'll be integrated back into training, I think, over the coming week. Obviously, he's sadly lost his father recently and has been given time to have with his family. So whether Conor Bradley will come in and fill in right back, possibly. But no, Endo was back, wasn't he, from international duty? Yeah. McAllister was in a little bit of a higher position, which, I don't know, I think you get used to playing what you were playing in the holding role, which is really, really good. And he didn't quite have the influence that we might have expected. So I just wonder if Alexis McAllister is going to end up being... Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, knits it together a little bit sharper. He's
so good on the
player ball. And vision. But you're right, and Burnley, Rob, got equalised for half-time with the header to the Jota goal. Actually, I have to say, James Trafford again, who looks a really potentially talented goalkeeper, but Robbie keeps coming out for things where he's not strong enough, where he misjudges the flight of the ball and gets caught up in traffic. And I remember Tim saying a couple of weeks ago, he needs to get in the gym and he needs to just start thinking about, sometimes he hasn't got to come if you're not going to get there. If you come, you've got to, have a physical presence that you can take a couple of knocks and give a couple of knocks when you do. But and then, Rob, second half, when Liverpool went ahead, Luis Diaz with the goal from Harvey Elliott, who had 2 assists when he came on, actually won man of the match. Burnley had a couple of great chances. David Datro Fofana. He got in once in behind the back line, hit the goalkeeper. Odegaard hit it over the top, and then the second one when he gets played through is where on loan from Chelsea. That kind of quality, you're thinking that really bends it in, and all of a sudden they're back in the game at 2-2. Could have been very different. He misses that one, and then Darwin Núñez, who'd had a day where you're thinking, is it all the work and no end product? Scores a brilliant goal, by the way. It's a beautiful header, ball behind him. Uses the neck muscles and really gets a good purchase on it to put it past the goalkeeper.
I'll get back to Burnley in a second, Rob. Darwin Núñez is a player that, I don't know why, I really like him and I really want him to do well because I love his attitude, I love his pace, I love his pressing, I love the fact that he's a great teammate who works really hard for the team, always makes runs in behind, he's a nuisance. His finishing often lets him down, let's be honest about it, but that's a great header. Yeah. That's a great header. It's going to be good for his confidence. What's it? Is it 8 now? He's got 8 and 7?
Yeah, 8 goals, 7 assists.
8 goals, 7 assists. Just back to Burnley, right? When I watched Burnley play at Anfield and playing expansively as the way they did, listen, didn't work out. They lost 3-1. But I just want to say this about Burnley, and maybe before the end of the season I'll change my view, but my view is this right now. This is such a new team for Burnley. Coming into the Premier League, a lot of players left. They couldn't afford to sign some of the loan players they had. They've
Yeah.
made many signings, not huge money, but they've made many signings. They've got 3 extra loan players in January.
We'll play this weekend.
Dacha Fofana is another example. I like Vincent Kompany. I like the way that he talks about the game, about his players, about his philosophy of the match. I like the way he's trying to coach this Burnley team. In the Premier League level, it's really hard to be expansive because if you make mistakes or your quality isn't quite there, you give the ball away, you get whatever, and you concede goals. That is what's happening. But if a club wants a new identity, wants continuity, wants a young, talented, exciting young team with a young, exciting manager, stick with the project. Stick with everything. If they go down, so be it.
And come up better,
Come
stronger,
up better. Keep the team together.
Yeah.
Don't have so many loan players that they have to replace all the time.
And I don't know in any way to be disrespectful, or if that's the right word, but because you're Vincent Kompany, can you do that? Like,
what, himself?
Yeah, no. Can he take that stance because he's Vincent Kompany? If he was Nathan Jones or a lower league player who's got his first shot at Premier League, God, this is my one shot. He'd have to be different. Does that afford him a little bit
the
of
gravitas of his
playing career and the way he carries himself and the way he's come up out the Championship, rather than, I don't know, a player who I don't know, let's just say Rob Edwards, who's done a particularly great job. But if Rob Edwards' things weren't going well, would he have to think, I've just got to stay in here or I'm going to get sacked?
I would like to think if I'm watching this with somebody else on the sideline and he spoke well, and I like the way, I'd like to think I'd say the same thing.
Well, could you say that Paul Heckingbottom then at Sheffield United? Young coach, bright, did well to get him out.
I don't think I've seen the same enjoyment out of watching the team under him than I'm seeing with Burnley.
Yeah,
it's a good point. Maybe I'm being a snob, and
I
want to see
I'm
Vincent
just thinking
Kompany do well.
and I like that, and I just think, I think Vincent Kompany can do that because of who he's afforded that. Where if they go down, I don't think they'll sack him.
And he's a strong enough personality, Rob, to say, you know what, hey, it's okay.
I'm going to do
we'll dust ourselves off.
Correct.
We go again. We'll try and be better. We've all learned from that.
And you believe him, by the way, is the other thing about him. He's very believable, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think there's a great manager in there.
There is. It's just. I mean, he's inexperienced. Yeah. Particularly at the top level. And
do you know what? In compared to some as well, he's learning his trade, isn't he?
He's learning his trade.
He's been down.
And they might get relegated.
Yeah.
But it's not blow it all up and let's go for some other philosophy, some other manager, and some other players. It's okay sometimes. The money they've made, Rob, on this up and down, they should have no financial. It's not as though they signed a bunch of maybe Forest have.
Yeah,
they've got young players wherever you look. The loan players, they're all young. Dacha Fofana's 21 years of age. They've got young players throughout the team. So I can't imagine they're stretching their wage bill.
I know the ownership group there and people in charge, and they're patient. They're not silly. They won't make any rash decisions, and they'll back Vincent.
So you'd confirm that even if they go down and they get by 10 points,
there'll be a plan.
They'll see what I'm saying.
They will already have had a plan. These guys, if we go down, they'd have had a plan for if we stay up and a plan for if we go down.
And it won't be.
And it won't be getting rid of the manager and blowing this thing up. It'll be about progression. Right. And that gives them a great chance.
Yep.
Okay, my friend. Oh, just before we move on, I've done my underappreciated performer of the week. And he was a young man who played in Liverpool's defence at centre back, and a defence that was, much changed. Goalkeeper behind them was different Kelleher instead of Alisson, who wasn't well. Gomez was ill. Robinson came back, was trying to find his feet. Trent was in. Next to Virgil van Dijk, who wasn't in great form, having made a miss. Gerald Quansah, my friend, is a 21, I believe, year old centre-back.
Yep.
Born in Warrington, was just outside Liverpool, played through all the England youth teams. Is starting to make a mark in the first team when he plays. Played a couple of times in Europe. Seen him now in the Premier League. I think he's got one Premier League goal to his name. Is a young man who might save Liverpool $70, $80 million if he continues to grow and learn and wait his time and keep improving. He looks like he's got all the things you would want, Rob, for a top-class centre-back. Good size, good pace, mobility, decent on the ball, bit of presence about him. And he's one of those who I don't ever see too much drama around him, Rob, or poor decisions.
Or nervy.
Nervy like you see
passing,
some you think, he needs a bit. He looks like a 26, 27-year-old who's come in the team, and I think the biggest compliment you can give him is he doesn't stand out at all in the team, like somebody who you're nursing to get through.
You're trying to help him all the way through.
Yeah.
And also, Jurgen Klopp said, Rob, about a week ago, when there was so much talk about Conor Bradley and what a great job he'd done, and the young players, and Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott. And Klopp said, what about Quansah? Why are you not talking about Quansah? And I think that backs up your point that this guy's really, really talented. And talk about a academy system at Liverpool. I mean, it's a bit crazy. The fullbacks coming, Trent came through it, and then you've got Conor Bradley and of course Harvey Elliott and Curtis Jones and now Gerald Quansah. It saves millions if you can develop those players.
Well, there used to be a thought that academies actually are producing players who end up in the Championship. It's hard to produce the quality that's good enough for a Big Six team for a player to go in. But we've seen it in Bradley. We've seen now with Rico Lewis and Bowdens and Quansahs and people who are coming into teams through academies who are now top draw.
I like the shout. And people start getting excited about Gerald Quansah because, and Klopp's very careful. It'll be Canate sometimes, maybe Quansah, maybe Joe Gomez, but he'll slowly develop this guy that could be the future centre-back for many, many seasons at Liverpool.
Good shout.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock. And be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you there.